Hello, 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 my darlings. Thank you for joining me on A Slice of Life, A Slice of Life. Today is Juneteenth. I didn't know anything about Juneteenth growing up. I don't know about you, but I didn't know anything about it until basically I was an adult, full grown, real, seriously, maybe over the hill gang adult before I heard about Juneteenth and didn't have any bearing on me. I didn't know anything about it. So today is Juneteenth. And today is my brother's birthday too. Happy birthday, Vincent. Anyway, it's a federal holiday, a day of celebration, and perhaps one of the most important lessons in American history, because Juneteenth is the story of people who were free and didn't know it. Can you imagine that? I find that just horrible. Just the people were free, and you were so inhumane. You were so caught up in inhumane treatment. You were so greedy to make so much more money that you said, let's not tell them. Let's get us 1 or 2 more years out of them and get the crop right. See how much money we can get. So much money we can make off of these people. You made money off the backs of other human beings. And I love it when white people say, that wasn't me. What do you mean? You still treat me like it was me back then. So as far as I'm concerned, how can you say it wasn't me? Then I need to say I wasn't me. Then I need to have the same treatment as you have. But you're still disenfranchising me from all of my rights because of the color of my skin. So therefore, what should I say about you? It was you. It was somebody that liked you. It was somebody in your bloodline. Go back and ask yourself how we own 120 acres. Where'd you get those 120 acres? We don't have our 40 acres and a mule. Where did you get all that money? How did your family get all that money? How did you get it? Because we were smart, right? Because you had a patent. Where did that patent really come from? Did you really get that patent from somebody who could not have a patent? Because black people couldn't have a patent. You see, you got to stop and think about how we look at it. We're not walking around accusatory. That's not what we're saying. But we are saying that somewhere along the way, just study your own history and figure out how you got there, because you're still telling me about who I am from back then. And I need to talk about who you are now. But you don't want to hear that. So I'll keep going. Freedom existed, but the message had not arrived. Or perhaps some people made sure it didn't arrive. That was just evil, evil, evil. That was evil. Withholding the truth, withholding truth from somebody. Withholding hope. Oh my God. Withholding hope. A delay. How they must have felt when they found out that they had been free. How many people died in those 2 years never knowing they were free? It's sad to think about it. Still working. They were still working and still suffering because you had to have more money, more money, more money. Do we have something like that going on today? More money, more money, more money, trillionaire. You've been free. How long? How long have we been free? What kind of conversation was that? Can you see the looks and think about mama and them? How they died? Said, baby, we're going to be free one day, and you were already free. The anger, the disbelief, the tears, the questions. Who knew? Who knew? They knew. And you kept it from us. I understand there was a movie based on a farm or some people that knew over in the years, like many, many years. And the people never knew. They never let them off the property to see progress that they were free. They did a movie about that. It wasn't the best movie, but it did what it needed to do. It showed how hateful people can be. It's some hateful people in the world, people. I mean, hateful. They don't, I guess it's okay, because they're not going to die. They don't have to deal with going to hell, because they're not going to die. They're going to live forever, so they can just be hateful. God, why did it take so long? Sometimes life feels like Juneteenth to me. It does. Juneteenth is almost every day. The blessing was already released. The answer was already on the way, but the message had not yet arrived. So the blessing's out there. Yeah. I keep telling myself the blessing is out there on some things, just on personal note. I know that the answer's on the way on a personal note. And sometimes I just feel like it hasn't arrived. So let's talk about Opal Lee. And let me thank Byron Saunders and Dr. Liddell for the beautiful, beautiful, excellent play they did about Opal Lee. Oh my God. It is so well done. It's in the on the workshop, Fred Silverman's workshop. You know Byron Saunders. You know he's the director. He's just brilliant. Dr. Janice Liddell. Look them up, and look up the play. It's a musical. Excellent. Well done. Thumbs up. Anyway, Opal Lee's faith. You know, she's called the grandmother of Juneteenth. For decades she walked, she marched, she spoke, she advocated, she educated, year after year, president after president, Congress after Congress. Many people would have quit. Many would have said it's never going to happen. Because don't you have sometimes you say it's never going to happen and then it happens? But in her case, she said, hey, I'm going to keep doing it. In her 80s, in her 90s, still believing. And finally in 2021, Juneteenth became a federal holiday. Wow. Is that right? 2021. Think about that. She carried the dream. She lived long enough to see it happen. That's a lesson for all of us. It is. Sometimes God lets you see the harvest. I got a harvest I'm looking for. I'm looking for it. And he talked to me today. He talked to me yesterday. He sent somebody and brought me a message. You know, but I remember getting excited about an interview and that I didn't have yesterday. So I'm just cautious right now. I'm a little shaky because I worked on that interview a whole year. I talked about it on yesterday. Anyway, I'm not going to lament today. We survived things designed to break us, and we have. There are things that are designed to break us that's going on now. You know a lot of that coming out of D.C. is designed to break us, but it's not going to break us. It's not going to break us. We got Dr. Johnson over there in South Carolina is the Democratic nominee for governor, and we have one here in Georgia. I mean, we got 2 black people nominees that I know for governor. That says a lot to me, especially when so much is designed to keep us from having those aspirations or even attempting to try to have them and attempting to try to win. We built families. That's one thing we did. We got endurance. We have endured, baby. We have endured. You think about Black history. Every time you think about Black history, you think about endurance. That's why, now see, I should not feel like this. But you can't sing a ballad or a song. You can sing your way. But something about a Black person singing that soulful song, you know that when you know they've been through something, you can hear it in their voice, that moan. And we all can hear that song because we know we've been there, done that, had that same moan, that same feeling in the gut, like somebody just cut your gut out. We had some endurance. But we built families, yes we did. We built churches, hey Big Bethel. We built schools, hey Spelman, Clark Atlanta, Morehouse, Morris Brown, ITC, HBCU, AUC Center. We built businesses, yes we have. We built communities and we built joy, joy, joy. I love joy. Even when freedom was delayed, and freedom is still delayed. When it was delayed, I don't know what I wrote right here. When justice was delayed, it's still delayed. When recognition was delayed, it's still delayed. Our ancestors understood something powerful. And what have you heard me say? Did I say it was in the Bible? A delay is not a denial. I said that the other day. A delay is not a denial. A delay is not a denial. A delay is not a denial. Mm-mm. Sometimes it's preparation, but most of the time it's persistence. Like this show for me, it's persistence. I ask for watch hours. I ask family members to help me. I ask my family members to turn it on for me. I ask all of you to turn it on, let it run. Share it with your friends and family. You know, I'm asking because I have to be persistent in asking. I should not be, but I am going to be persistent and just ask you to do that for me, to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. I hope you like some of the things I'm saying. I'm saying it from my heart. But this story is about freedom. Juneteenth. It's about faith. Faith. A lot of what I talk about is about faith. Because I did start this show because I was a 3 times cancer survivor. Still am. You know, I'm a 3 times cancer survivor. But I want other cancer people to know that you can keep going. I always tell you, got somebody got cancer, call me. Faith that tomorrow can be different. It can make a difference. Faith that truth eventually arrives. The truth eventually arrives. That's for real. Faith that delayed dreams can still come true. I struggle with that. I personally struggle with that. But I know I heard a voice yesterday that said something to me. I heard it today too. So, you know, I'm going to keep going. It's not easy. People call me and they say, I was just thinking about you, Georgianne. And that lets me know the faith that delayed dreams can still come true. When they say, I was just thinking about you, Georgianne. Seems like God is sending a message. You have people call you when you like, oh God, Jesus. And they say, hey girl, how you doing? I was just thinking about you. Isn't that a good sound? I was just thinking about you. They know that somebody's just thinking about you and they know what you want. And they say, you know, I'm going to help you do that. You know, I'm going to help you do that. So if people could wait years to hear they were free and still sing, I mean, we still sing, we still pray, they still pray. We still have hope, we still pray. They still had hope, they still prayed. They still had hope. They still built, we still build. We can keep believing. Look at Atlanta. Atlanta is just the home of so much. I mean, it's so many places to go. I'm so proud of all the businesses. I just wish that I had the businesses going on. I wish I was in the era now where people can appreciate it and I have some other people I can turn to help. I did the businesses, 2 or 3 businesses, you know, that I just enjoyed. I know that's the way of the world. You have to have a business. You have something, you know, and I had them. So, my friends, whatever promise you are waiting on, whatever answer has been delayed, whatever dreams seem late, remember Juneteenth. The message may be delayed. You got some stuff you're waiting for over there on the other side of the screen. I'm waiting for some things on this side. You're waiting for some things on that side. But don't give up. I know I say that. I have to say it to you to say it to myself. You know, and you have to be your own. I find more and more and more. You got to depend on the Lord more than anything. More than friends, more than family. You have to pray to him and ask him to come and help you. You have to pray to the angels and ask them to help you discern A, B, and C. It's there for you. You cannot depend on friends and family for anything that you really want. You need to pray and try and ask God to give it to you and help you get it. And you hope that friends and family will join you. But do not don't put all your bags. Don't put all your dreams, don't put all your wishes in any one of them bags. Because it doesn't work like that. What works is to put your nose to the grind and stay faithful. That's what Miss Oprah Lee did. She stayed faithful. There was a man that was a reverend out there. He didn't ask anybody. He just got his little sign. He marched every day. He marched Biden out there. He marched Trump out there. I think they both went out there at different times out at the Black Wall Street. I'm telling you, just stay in your own faith. You know, we may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated. Maya Angelou said that. We may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated. When you feel like you're defeated, when you feel like you don't have nobody, just call on the Lord and stay the course. Doesn't mean it's not coming. It's coming. But you got to stay the course. You got to stay the course. You got to be the one. Just put your nose to the grind. You know, don't expect anybody else to do anything for you. Do not. Nobody has to do anything for you. And that, sometimes I get away from that. I just think that we, you know, I don't know. But I had to remind myself from time to time, that's not how it works. You put your nose to the grind. That's what you do. And you get out here and make it work. You may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated. Don't feel defeated. Have faith. You know, right down to the end. Just right down to your last breath. Have faith. I hope you had a great Juneteenth. I saw that they had parades everywhere. I'm glad people are celebrating and acknowledging that it was delayed. Evil. But guess what? We're still here. There's nothing they can do about that. And here's something you can't do anything about. Me loving you. I do. And there's nothing you can do about it.